You probably heard, but Pokemon Z to A has been announced. And in the announcement, they hinted at more Mega Pokemon being released. And let's just say a lot of those Pokemon have been leaked. A guy on Twitter named Light have confirmed 24 new Mega Pokemon that will be coming to the game. And so I made a tier list with all of these new Pokemon. And today, we're gonna rank them. Our tiers are Mega Epic Gamer Moment, followed by Mega Moment, Mega Mid, Mega, and Mega Lame. And we're starting off hot with one of my all-time favorite Pokemon.
Who's that Pokemon?
Feraligatr. This is going straight into the Mega Epic Gamer Moment tier. Feraligatr has always been one of my favorite Pokemon, but unfortunately, he was never really that great. I'm hoping that in his Mega form, he'll pick up a secondary typing, like Fighting or Dragon or maybe even Dark. That would help him out a lot defensively, while boosting some of his other attacks like Superpower or Crunch. That paired up with his hidden ability, Sheer Force, and I could actually see him getting a lot of use. And also, he looks freaking awesome. Next up, we have Mega Meganium. This seems like it could be a pretty cool Pokemon, but I don't really see it being super strong. And by the way, all of the art that I found is all fan-made art, so these are not official Pokemon creations. But anyway, I am really glad that they're doing something with Meganium, because it's pretty notoriously the least liked starter of all time. If not, it's definitely up there. So I like the idea of doing something with Meganium, but there's a reason why no one really loves it. I don't know. I could see it being pretty cool if they add the fairy typing to it, which I definitely might, because it's got a big flower on it. I could see it either getting the fairy type or the dragon type because it is a dinosaur. Next, we have Mega Chonker, also known as Emboar. This is another Pokemon that never really got too much love. I actually do like Emboar quite a bit, but I am gonna put him in the Ega tier. Simply because he is a fire and fighting type Pokemon, and there's already so many fire and fighting type starter Pokemon, I don't think that we need to do anything else with this one in particular. I mean, Blaziken already does get a Mega, which is a fire and fighting starter type. So now we're gonna have two fire and fighting starter type Pokemon. Next up, we have the very popular Greninja. This, for me, I think is honestly a Mega Moment. Look, Greninja is an awesome Pokemon. He's pretty objectively a top tier Pokemon. My only gripe with him getting a Mega is that he already does have a better form with being Ash Greninja. So it is kind of a weird dynamic if you have an Ash, like can an Ash Greninja Mega evolve? And if it can, is that going to be a separate Mega evolution? Because I kind of feel like Ash Greninja already is a Mega evolution in a way. I mean, its stats are just as strong as many other Mega Pokemon, and it is kind of an evolution in the middle of the battle. The idea of a Mega Greninja sounds way too cool to put him any lower than Mega Moment. Next, we have Chestnut. What to do with this guy? To be honest, I know that I said this about Meganium, but Chestnut might be the worst starter of all time. Does anybody actually like Chestnut?
How dare you?
No, I'm not even trying to be mean, but this thing is kind of dookie buns.
What did you say?
The biggest problem with Chestnut is his typing. Grass and fighting just do not go together well at all. Being 4 times weak to flying is awful. I'm gonna have him join Emboar and put him in the Mega tier. Next, we have Delphox, and to be honest, I don't really like regular Delphox too much, but when I was looking up Mega forms of Delphox, it was actually pretty cool. I mean, this thing looks like a witch from Harry Potter. To be honest, that's pretty freaking cool. I would love it if they had this thing like ride a broom in its Mega form, and also, Fire and Psychic is a pretty strong typing and should get access to a lot of really good moves. So for that reason, I'm actually gonna put this in the Mega Moment tier. And again, I don't really like Delphox. Delphox is just okay to me, but I just think there's a lot of potential in what you can do with the Mega form of it. Oh boy, next up we have Starmie. Now this is what I'm talking about. Starmie is the kind of Pokemon that everybody loves, everybody knows, but just isn't really that strong. And this is true with a lot of Generation 1 Pokemon, because with each new generation, typically they get stronger and stronger. And so, because of how old Starmie is, it does doesn't really have the greatest stats, it doesn't have the greatest ability, it doesn't have the greatest moveset, so it pretty much needs a really big update. This, in my opinion, is a really good Pokemon to give a Mega form to, and definitely deserves to be in the Mega moment tier for me. Shout out Starmie, let's go. Next up, Chandelure. This is a pretty intriguing one, and one that I'm not really understanding why. I just don't really get it. Now, no hate on Chandelure. I think it's kind of just an okay Pokemon, but I don't know. I'm just gonna put it in the Mega mid tier. It's kind of just an okay Pokemon. I'm not really sure what exactly you can do with giving a Chandelure a Mega. I don't know. I mean, it's cooler than Chestnut and Emboar to me, but it's definitely nothing special. Next, we have Dragalge. I love the idea of this because I think Dragalge is a pretty cool Pokemon, but doesn't really get much love. And the reason for that is there's so many very strong dragon Pokemon in the game. And normally when you build a team, you don't want to have more than one of the same typing. So if you ever use Dragalge, that means that you're probably not going to use any of the other insanely strong dragon Pokemon, which is why this Pokemon doesn't really get much love and just isn't really used too often. So you know what? I'm actually going to move this down into our first Mega lame Pokemon. I'm so sorry, Dragalge. That feels bad, man. Very much feels bad. Next, we have Pyroar. Very interesting Pokemon. Now, Pyroar does get two different forms depending on if it's male or female, so I wonder if that means that it's going to get two different Mega forms as well. The first time I ever saw it, I thought it was sick. I was like, dude, this Pokemon is so cool. But the problem with it is that Incineroar also exists, which is a Fire Lion. Why would they have two Fire Lions in the same generation? What? It's just really silly to me. The only way that I could see this actually getting used at all is if they change its hidden ability, because right now its hidden ability is Moxie, which generally is a very good ability if you're a physical attacker. But Pyroar is a special attacker, so it doesn't make sense at all. So if they gave it a new ability when it Mega evolved, where it was Moxie, but for special attack, that's the only way that I could see this getting used at all. So I'm gonna put this in the Mega tier. I was considering Mega lame, to be honest, but I think that there is some potential with what they do with the ability of Pyroar to actually make it a decent Mega Pokemon. Next up, we have Victreebel, another throwback to Generation 1 Pokemon. And I love this idea, and I even love this art even more. I know it's really tiny, but you can see in its little arms, there's little bell sprouts coming out of it. That's pretty hilarious. But Victreebel is another one of those Pokemon that is pretty solid in Generation 1, but as the generations continue to get stronger and stronger, Victreebel just fell behind and completely lost any usage whatsoever. So similar to Starmie, I'm hoping that its Mega form is actually very strong to the point where we'll see it get some usage once again. Its regular form already has pretty decent attack, like just decent stats overall. I think if its Mega form just kind of boosts everything by like 30 points, is that too much? I don't know. So I'm putting this in the Mega moment tier. Let's go. Come on. Shout out to the boy Victreebel. Next, we have something not so epic, a Scolipede. I've never met anyone or any mother or any father or grandma or grandpa that has ever enjoyed this Pokemon. Like, who on good God's green good earth, first of all, would ever use this thing? Second, would ever waste their Mega on it as well? No hate. Hey, if anyone from Pokemon's watching this video, no hate. No hate here. No hate here. I'm just saying, like, who? This is like the Audino of this round, I feel like, of this round of Megas. And look, I know Scolipede is actually like kind of a half decent Pokemon in like playthroughs, but it's disgusting. Look, let's just say it. Let's just say what it is. Let's be honest. Who is picking Scolipede as their Mega Pokemon? This is going in Mega lame. I'm sorry. And it's another one of those Megas that when I looked up Mega art for Scolipede, almost nothing popped up. I found literally almost nothing. Yo, next Pokemon, I've been waiting for this one too, is a Skarmory. Skarmory is such a sick Pokemon. Oh my God. The art for it is so cool too. His face is getting cut off. I apologize about that. But Skarmory is such a sick Pokemon. What do I do with you? I love Skarmory, but I do have a gripe. I do have a gripe with its Mega form. I feel like in general, Mega Pokemon, you want them to be able to hit very hard. Like, you want your Mega to come out and be able to just nuke the other team, destroy them completely. That is not what Skarmory does. Skarmory is just a very tanky Pokemon, and Skarmory just doesn't hit hard at all, which makes it a little bit lame to use in battle, to be honest. But it's also also a Skarmory and is super epic. So I'm going to put this in the mega moment. Let's go. Skarmory is sick. And Feraligatr is still the only one in the mega epic gamer moment tier. Let's see if we find anything else that we like as much as that Feraligatr. And by the way, if you guys disagree with me or agree with me, let me know in the comments down below. Also, if you have any other ideas as far as like what the game developers are going to do with these Pokemon, let's have some discussions in the comments, because I am like pretty interested to see and hear what you guys think they're actually going to do with these guys. Next, we have a Froslass. Interesting Pokemon, very obnoxious to fight. It Destiny bonds all the time. It's just a very obnoxious Pokemon, so it is a pretty cool typing, but I just never really loved it. Like, I think it's kind of just an okay Pokemon, and it's another one of those things, I think similar to Scolipede, where, you know, who is going to pick a Froslass over these other mega Pokemon, you know? You only get one option. I'm sorry, but I'm not picking this thing to be my mega. You know what I mean? And for that reason, I'm putting him in the mega tier. Kind of just okay, but below average as far as the megas go, I think. Okay, next up we have Falinks, and I think I'm gonna get quite a bit of hate for this one, because for whatever reason, I actually don't know why, but I love this Pokemon. I think he's adorable, and it just reminds me of Mario. Like, this isn't, it doesn't even look like a Pokemon to me. It looks like it should just be in Mario, but for some reason, it made its way into the Pokemon world. I think it's a Pokemon that you either love or you hate, and for me, I love it. And I feel like this mega is actually going to be insanely strong, because it gets a very, very unique move called No Retreat. And what that does is it boosts all of its stats by 50%, but means that it can no longer retreat or switch out for the rest of the battle. Hold on, let me look up his regular stats. Dude, Falinks already in his regular form has an attack stat of 100. And some Pokemon, when they mega evolve, their attack goes nuclear. Let me give you an example. I will use Pinsir, for example. So regular Pinsir has an attack stat of 125. Mega Pinsir gets 30 more added to that and goes up to 155. My point is, if Falinks can get even just like 20 to 25 more in attack, then you click No Retreat, this thing is going to be a menace. This thing is going to be really, really scary to battle. You guys are going to hate me. I actually hate me a little bit for doing this too, to be honest with you, but I'm putting this in the mega moment. That thing's going to be sick. I'm telling you, I'm calling it right now. That mega Falinks is going to be insane. All right, next up we have Scrafty, and I actually love the art for this one. He actually pulls his mask up and goes full Rey Mysterio on us. I don't really know how I feel about this, because Scrafty to me is just like such an average okay Pokemon, but it does get Moxie. It actually has a couple of good abilities. It has Moxie and Intimidate, so I could honestly see this Pokemon being pretty solid in competitive play with that Moxie ability. It'd be kind of similar to a Gyarados, just completely different like typing. If this thing gets Mach Punch, it's gonna be insane. Like, it's actually going to be a crazy, crazy good Pokemon, so I'm gonna put it in the mega mid tier. I think it's kind of just average, but it's one of those that really depends on what new features it will get access to in its mega form. Next, we have a Clefable, which is interesting. It is another Generation 1 Pokemon, and the other two Generation 1 Pokemon we have in the mega moment tier. Clefable, though, I don't really like Clefable. I'm gonna be honest. It's not really one of my favorite Pokemon. It did get changed from normal type to fairy type when fairy was introduced. I do wonder, though, that when it mega evolves, if it will gain its normal typing back, and then it'll be like normal and fairy. That would be quite interesting. But honestly, Clefable, it's just okay. I'm just gonna put him in that mega tier. I don't know. Yo! Hold on. Yo, look at this thing. Mega Excadrill, dude. Okay. We gotta talk. Mega Excadrill is insane looking. I think it's got probably top 2, top 3 coolest designs of all of the megas in this tier list, which makes me love it. Oh man, Mega Excadrill. This Pokemon's so sick. I could see its mega being so freaking good too. Its regular form already is really, really solid. It gets a lot of competitive play. It's a very strong Pokemon, and as a mega, it's gonna be even cooler. Dude, I'm really thinking about putting it in the Mega Epic Gamer Moment tier. I don't know. I'm gonna do it, dude. I'm gonna do it. Excadrill, one of the coolest designed Pokemon in my opinion. Already a very strong Pokemon. Its mega form obviously is gonna be even stronger. This thing is gonna be an absolute menace, and I cannot wait to use it. Dude, look at its arms. Its arms are literally entire drills. I really hope that the actual model turns out to be something similar to that, because that is sick. Next, we have Barbaracle. Very interesting mega design by this fan creation here. Generally, Barbaracle is a physical attacker, but in this image, it looks like it would be a special attacker, so I wouldn't be surprised if this design is what Pokemon actually ends up going with. But I don't know. I don't really like Barbaracle too much, but Barbaracle already is pretty scary if it gets a Shell Smash off. I think if it is a Mega in Shell Smashes. So honestly, for that reason, I'm going to put it in the mid tier because I think it's got potential to be pretty freaking good. Oh my God. Okay. Yep, we did it. We did it. This is just instantly mega epic gamer moment here. Zeraora is my favorite Pokemon of all time. Zeraora already is a sick Pokemon and I love him to death, but it does have a couple of problems. I just feel like it kind of gets overshadowed by Regieleki. Regieleki is another electric type Pokemon, but it's faster and it's kind of just a better version of Zeraora. So I'm hoping that when Zeraora Mega evolves, it gains the fighting type because already it gets access to a lot of fighting type moves. It uses its fists a lot in its moves and it would just make a lot of sense. So if when it did Mega evolve, it did gain the fighting typing, it would just unlock a lot of more possibilities and options for Zeraora if he gains that fighting typing when a Mega evolves. This thing is going to be insane and I cannot wait to use it. Next we have Hawlucha, very cool Pokemon, pretty fast, hits hard, but is very, very weak, like defensively. I do like this Pokemon a lot and I'm hoping that this Mega will give it a little bit more love and a little bit more usage. I guess I'll put it in the top of the Mega mid tier. I don't know. I think people might hate me for that, to be honest with you, because I think people like Hawlucha a lot. Next, we have a Mega Zygarde, a very strange Mega in my opinion, because Zygarde kind of already gets a Mega form if it has the ability Power Construct. As I'm sure you know, when it has that ability, I think when it drops below 50% HP or maybe 33% HP, it evolves, or I guess transforms into freaking Optimus Prime. So I'm really confused as to how or why this is getting a Mega evolution. I feel like it kind of already has that in a sense. So I'm really not trying to be a hater here. I actually do like Zygarde quite a bit, but look guys, I think I'm gonna get a hate for this one too, but I just don't see it. I don't see the vision. I don't understand why. I just don't get it. So for this one, I'm gonna put in the Mega tier, but I think that one is probably the one that I'm most likely to be incredibly wrong about. I feel like there's a chance that Mega Zygarde comes out to be the coolest Mega of them all. Anyway, moving on, we have Mega Drampa. Dude, I really like the idea of this. Drampa gets a lot of love for being, let's be honest, not that great of a Pokemon, especially because it's a dragon type. And like I've mentioned before, with Dragalge, there's so many strong dragon type Pokemon that it's unlikely that you're going to use Drampa over any of those other really strong ones. But still, due to Drampa's charms and gorgeous looks, he still is pretty beloved in the Pokemon community. So I actually do love the idea of giving him a Mega, and for some reason, I think that this Mega is going to be incredibly overpowered. They'll probably make his stats crazy and give him a new ability. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Actually, what is his ability now? I guess Berserk is a decent ability that it gets, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if they give him something else. Overall, though, I think there's a lot of potential with Drampa. I am excited to see what they do with his Mega form, but I am going to put him in the Mega mid tier for this one. And now we are down to our last Pokemon, and boy, oh boy, is it a good one. Mega Dragonite. This is a Pokemon that people have been calling for since Megas ever released. A lot of the other pseudo-legendaries got a Mega form, so it was actually very surprising that in that first drop, Dragonite didn't get one. And because of how strong a lot of other dragons are, Dragonite kind of got overshadowed by a lot of them. Until the new generation, with the ability to terrestrialize, Dragonite has been able to make a comeback and actually become very strong competitively again. But I do wonder what typing this actually would be. I do have a feeling that they're going to change his typing, and I wouldn't be surprised actually if for whatever reason they give him the dragon and fairy typing. Is that crazy of me? Anyway, with all that being said, I think it's pretty obvious that Dragonite falls into the Mega Epic Gamer Moment tier. And it's really doesn't want me to do that. There we go. And bang, there we go. That is the last Pokemon. Let me know what you think of my tier list. Do you agree? Do you disagree? And what do you think of any Pokemon in particular? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you guys want me to do some more of these tier lists, let me know by leaving a like and dropping a sub. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.